Hello, welcome back to part two, which was unintentional. Yeah, I had locked the door yesterday, so Imogen couldn't get in, so I had to kind of run and open the door. Plus, I was also probably needing to kind of regroup because many of us do tend to get carried away when you're in the moment. I feel a bit like David Wilcock. You know, and like he's in his videos and you kind of settle down with your popcorn because you know part of the show is having a bit of a friendly, sisterly, brotherly chuckle with him as he obsesses about his hair. And yeah, good old David is our brother. Right, okay, I wanted to come back because I kind of quickly skimmed through what I was saying yesterday, and what I was saying was kind of what I wanted to say, but it's not succinct. All right, so as I go through these videos, obviously I'm honing my condensation skills or whatever, concentration skills, making things more condensed. Okay, all right, so again, you know, when I think about this topic, it's such a difficult one to explain from, I mean, it's my perspective as well. So the thing is, the whole thing with the language and the matrix and the spells and the energy and the interdimensional aspects and how that creates our reality in a very, very real way, to me, is directly connected to the holographic reality. I'm just going to go and close that door for a sec. There's a very nice sunrise. The two of them are connected, and you know the big questions in life: who am I? Where am I? Why am I here? Who is this God? You know, it doesn't matter what you follow, it doesn't matter what religion or belief you follow. We all have a kind of a concept of a god, a stroke goddess. Okay, I remember as a kid, I used to think that the Indians with their multiple gods was kind of scary. I remember people came to the door giving out their literature. I would have been about 10, so we're going back 35 years or so that you know, people in Blackpool in England were going around handing out this stuff, and it just, I kind of was intrigued but also terrified. It was very interesting. The perspective, the filters, the beliefs, the way our experiences impact the way that our brain perceives and actually interprets everything. I always think, you know, if we didn't have pain, it would be okay, because death itself is not to be afraid of, right? We know that death is an illusion. We know it's a veil. And so it's something to be welcomed. It's the way you die that's the issue. It's the pain. And I always had this obsession my whole life with, it would be really cool if you could get into a state of meditation where you couldn't feel pain. I think ultimately what I was kind of looking for was how to be free of fear. So remember in the introductory video, I was talking about one of the things I want to talk about is dissolving fear. Actually, another thing I want to talk about as well is self-healing. In fact, I'm going to do, you know, dissolving fear, which will be heart-based work, and healing, self-healing, because you can heal yourself. And just by realizing that you can, just by hearing about, you know, different people's perspectives who really fully know it's possible to heal without the help of anything else external, except perhaps a bit of a friend who can channel certain energies or amplify the energy, you know, again, where two or more gather. That's why we usually have people, a healer laying on hands. It's not so much that the healer is necessarily trained, it's just another person who's able to hold space and to now it's time to sing. Let me go and do a quick note. Okay, don't mind me. I know we have to sing and that sound is a thing and it doesn't matter what your voice sounds like, and look, I'm literally shaking. Yeah, actually I find it very difficult to communicate. People don't realise this about me. The act of speaking is terrifying for me, and you know, to speak your truth and be shut down is very painful. But anyway, we keep going because we know that it's about transmuting the pain and overcoming fear. So the only thing that they've been able to get me on is to, you know, shut me up and have me live in God knows how many places my life, you know, before the age of 10, 22 different places. So when you learn to deal with adversity, and one of the, you know, you use things which were the natural gift, you know, which they can't take away. And I always used to sing in private and just sing, and in the shower or whatever, or just on walks, in my car, just always singing, and haven't been singing for a while. So I thought I'd throw that one in there. I had this really peaceful energy and now it's like, doof. Right, okay, let's go. We've protected the space at 7:27. All right, so I'm talking about how I like to try to explain, because it's the holographic reality. So the model we had yesterday was the girl or the guy or the angel that we are. Just vibing. We should all get heart-shaped bikinis for everyone, men and women. So there she is, vibing. And she's creating her energy, right? And it's going out. And so she creates this beautiful holographic reality that's fluid. It's you know, and of course there is a feedback loop as well, right? And the feedback is actually coming from outside. So the feedback gives you more back in, okay? Now you notice it's all the same color, and it's like a kind of a, I guess it's like that, right? Maybe the energy just, but then it's not a closed circuit, so it's going out infinitely. So it would have to be two separate channels, I guess, right? But it is a mirror, it is a feedback, and this is your holographic projection. Now, you know, just go and look up a hologram. I don't really want to spend time talking about what a hologram is here, but it basically defies all 3D past 100-year explanations. It defies physics. The nature of a hologram is not to be explained, like many things, and yet it's used in technology without them explaining what it is. But a holographic reality is where the parts contain the whole. It's not the whole containing the parts, which is the model that we have been fed by the propaganda machine of this invasion, which has been going on for a very long time. So everything's backwards, right? We project onto the screen. It's not that it's coming in and we're wondering what the heck's going on, because remember yesterday I talked about in part 1 the two different, ways of receiving the information for your projection of your screen, which is basically everything that you perceive to happen to you, everything that's happening. And everybody's too focused on the external. Everybody's all focused on the screen. Now, you can focus on the screen once you've got this bit, which I'm going to use. No, these bits sorted out and connected. All right, and then that's going to connect to your root chakra. Right, your root chakra is like, it has the roots of the trees connecting you to the earth, and then this one's going to connect to this is your 8th chakra. Now, I know that chakras are not necessarily the way. I know Summer has said, oh no, chakras are not real. And I think, like everything, everything is both true and not true, depending on which way you're looking at it, okay? So we definitely have energy centers. We definitely do. We have a power center. We have, we've got our root chakra, which is connecting to earth. Our throats need to open. Our third eye, the crown. And I do believe that the Kundalini energy, or the earth energy, basically, it's the energy of existence, it's the life force, natural energy. And if you wanted to say we're a battery, and I don't know if we're positive or negative, I mean, maybe somebody could have a look at this as the image of a battery, the human being, right, as a battery. I think this is negative, isn't it? And this is positive. So, and again, that links in with the frequencies. And we tend to think of the lower vibrational frequencies as being negative and the higher vibrational frequencies as being positive, right? So we want to be positive. We're always going up. I think everything is always in a natural state of expansion until we've got hijacked and contracted down, and they're trying to force our vibration down so that we can't access. We're actually all operating from solar plexus, the sexual chakra, which is what it is in 3D. In higher dimensions, it would be the sacral or the sacred. All right, sex is sacred energy exchange, which is basically a beautiful union of two souls who have the ability to kind of feed this energetic process in a non-lurid, weird, or messed up way. We have a lot of healing to do, all of us, every single one of us. Doesn't even matter if you've had a perfect life this time round, you still probably got a perfect life this time because you have the more time to heal the past wounds. And I notice a lot of people very caught up on all the positive stuff and keeping it all positive, but we do know that unless you've walked the walk, you can't really talk the talk, because people need to hear the stories of how did you overcome and how deep were you and how bad was it. So, if somebody like myself and various other people that I know, but I think of most people I know, with the exception of two people, my sister included, actually my mother and my sister and myself, I don't know anyone that's had a more challenging experience here, apart from, and I mean no personally. Of course I know things about other things that are happening, and we know we've all been there. But yeah. We're still here. We're still here, stronger than ever. And look at all this knowledge that we've been given. It's incredible. Anyway, I was saying about we need to anchor, we're talking about the mind control. So she's got her beautiful thing going on, and then obviously you get this attack, right? So the minute this happens, it contracts, and so the heart contracts, right? And then the heart puts a protection around. We saw this yesterday, and at this point, the image is being created by an external force, but we're also pushing out our resistance to it. We're resisting it always. We're always meeting it with equal force, which is why you get this rigid, it's a battle of your will all the time, and no more is it allowed to just go off and wave around everywhere. It's now been completely kind of solidified, and here we are stuck. And so this is the goo, isn't it? Look, it's even green. You know, it's like that Muse song, you know, with green belts wrapped around our minds and endless red tape to keep the truth confined. So this is what happens, you know, we get all of this, and each time you're having a negative, it's just feeding in. The negatives just keep, it's these attacks. And if you see it that way and you realize that this has been going on since the day, well, before you were born, it's been going on with your parents and their parents, and each form of attack was a certain band of impregnable, shouldn't have used that word, impregnatable mind control. So, you know, one generation had, let's just say, the First World War, right? And then you've got another generation, then the next generation is dealing with the, you know, there's an input coming here. I'll get a bit of black going in, sorry. I do like my whiteboard. Hope you can hear me. You know, so then you've got the next generations dealing with something else. And I believe that this final generation has, what's blocked us has been all these concepts such as, you know, don't offend people, and, you know, these people matter and those people matter, and don't be with this and don't be that and don't say this. Don't express your opinion in case you offend someone. My dears, this is why we're here. We're here to interact with each other, express our opinion, get feedback and learn. There's no offense to be taken. There's just, okay, that feeling in your gut will tell you whether it's something you need to take notice of to learn, or something that you don't need to take notice of because somebody else has to learn and it's nothing to do with you. All right, the information comes in randomly. The people who pass the information are channels. They're other vessels, right? We're all here as feedback. We trigger things in each other. It's intense right now because we're all trying to break out of all of this mind control. And I believe the first thing that happened was that the incoming signals, right? This has been intercepted. This is what's going on out in the realm. It's, this is being taken care of, all of the incoming. However, there comes a point, an interface point between the external and the internal, where you have to spend time in this space, because you're not going to escape the matrix unless you are in, you know, this is the bit now where it's nothing anymore to do with anything from the outside, right? This stuff is yours, right? All this shit that's still in your field, which is being kind of dissolved, but obviously the full dissolving comes when our, you know, we get our 12 strands DNA. So I don't even know how to, you know, when that's all switched on. But what we do is we basically now have to go here, because we know this. This one we don't really know. We've forgotten. We're not quite sure how to use our so don't even ask. I think I'm doing spells. It is a bit of a shape of a heart, isn't it, that I just randomly drew? Like an actual physical heart. Yeah, oh, that's why it I don't know what is going on, to be honest with you. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm doing this. Well, I do know why I'm doing it. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but I don't feel like it's just me. I wanted to make a point about the heartbeat being perpetual, and how your heart is protected, because the heartbeat is a self-perpetuating action. Once the first beat happened, it's an involuntary response, the beat. It just doesn't stop. It's free energy. Our hearts are just connected to source, the way they beat. It just beats at the 0 point singularity. So you can imagine when you've got all this stuff coming in and then you're compressing this, you know, that's when you're going to start to see manifestations in the physical. Now, obviously I suspect that all of our organs are non-physical when we're born. I don't believe that anything in the body is, I don't believe if the inside of us is what they tell us it is. And that's why they always represent a heart like this. It's actually to represent the Taurus. It's our wings. That's our wings, you know, our heart is our wings. And how beautiful is that? It's butterfly wings. It's so cool. And let's get blue wings, shall we? Anyway, how do we get these blue wings that transcend everything, you know? Sorry, making them a bit. By expanding our heart energy and speaking our truth, connecting it. So we're getting truth coming in that everybody wants to hear. Everybody's got bits of the pieces of the puzzle, and we're going to expand our heart energy and our words, the things we say. We're going to surround our space with good words, right? In fact, I'm going to rub this out and start another one. And you basically dissolve. You just keep dissolving. Now, it might feel like the love bit goes away and you're left feeling very empty, but no. And then what we do is you've created a space, haven't you, for this symbiotic, two-way, amazing source energy, and you just keep shooting love. It can be other people that are causing you problems. It can be, and each time you shoot love, it just bursts on out and it takes out the green until eventually you're basically goodbye, little fairy. We are fairies and angels. We're everything that they've shown us in, you know, all the stories, all of the fairy tales, all the movies. We're all the princesses, we're all the queens, we're all everything. So let's do this one. Let's do a guy. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh no, I was trying to do a wry smile. The guys are just not coming out too good, are they, today? All right then. Oh, does he need teeth? Yeah, okay. All right, man, let's go. He's got a hat on. What kind of a hat? I have an obsession with hats. I feel like this might be a spirit guide though, which is why I'm trying to give it a bit of attention, you know? Yeah, he's got cool hair. He's got blue hair too. Okay. Hi, how are you? Oh, you know what they say about big shoes, right? Okay, so have any of you watched Katie Hopkins, that English woman who does the really hilarious videos? She makes me laugh. Right, okay, so look, he is heart activated and pineal connected, right? So he's just got like this huge, there you go. This is the real heart. This isn't what's inside your body. Now, so I think what I was saying before, and I actually was, is that the physical, when you ignore your spiritual, emotional, psychological, vital bodies, which are the other bodies around us, remember, we are right? And this is where the interdimensionality comes in, because it's not so much that now, see what's happened is that things have been coming in to all of these different bodies that we have, you know, so some attack the spiritual body, some attack the mental, well, actually most attack the mental and the physical. And then and the really hardcore stuff is the stuff that comes in, and they've been attacking the womb, the sex organs, they've been attacking the heart, they've been attacking the pineal, they have been attacking our voices, they have attacked our earth, which is our root, and they are taking our power through our solar plexus. and they have blocked our ability to connect to our crown, to source, because they've blocked the ability of the pineal, and they've blocked the ability for people to speak, and their throat truth. Anyway, so we can come to that later. But anyway, so we've shot bits of love. We keep doing it. It doesn't matter how small. You just have to get yourself into a, even if you have to pick up a picture, go and Google kittens. As long as you can activate that feeling of love in your heart, and then you think about and you take a higher perspective, and you kind of remember that we're all in this together, and that we've all been attacked, and that everybody is born innocent and deserving of a chance to be here, to create in a space of love. That's what this planet's for, nothing else. There's no room here for the lower dimensions. They exist in other places, not here. Okay, they're not, this energy is not happening here. It cannot. This is, you know, I saw something actually that the DS were doing, which was this whole alien invasion was supposed to be Operation Failsafe. Now, but the thing is, that's also the name of the operation for, or it's actually, no, it's called Project Failsafe. So if anybody is, if anybody wants to go and check this out, because Ashiana Dean, when she talks about the MCEO series, the Melchizedek, Drum Valley, Melchizedek Cloister Emerald Order, they talk about, this is Operation Failsafe, which was basically the very last time that we could ever have to recycle back into this prison planet. And we are in the end time, and that's why all these, our, you know, fellow brothers and sisters, external to the hologram that was created. This is something actually that came to me, because I've been asking, I've been trying to work out, but if I'm creating, if I'm in charge of the hologram, then all of the aliens and stuff can't be real. Or I don't want to say aliens, because that's their word to make us feel that they are alien, right? They're us. Alien, bad word. There's positive and negative, and there's vibration, frequency, and some of the beings that we're going to vibe with soon, they might look like giant praying mantis. And Imogen, how are you going to deal with that? Actually, she'll be like, Mom, I'll be down. She's actually got really good with bugs and stuff, so we're all becoming one, literally one. I'm controlling the beautiful weather today. Yeah, and I was thinking, but if I create everything, however, remember, we haven't been given all of the information and all of the tools, and we're not able to connect. And the thing is that everything, all that does exist outside of like their matrix hologram, the one they've been projecting. Remember, they've been projecting, instead of us projecting out all our good stuff. Remember, what happened was they kind of found a way in. I hate to say it, but it was probably a guy that chatted up a girl. And it just, this is also a bit like the sperm and the egg, isn't it? You know, it just got in. It's the snake into the Garden of Eden. It was, you can't really see it, can you? Oops. I'm going to get a bigger one, and then, you know, this is that snake with its forked tongue. The heart and arrow that we always do every Valentine. It's multiple meanings, and we used to send that to people we loved at school. Be my Valentine. Let me pierce your heart and break it. Bigger solution after what they do in the dumbs, and what they do is the cons. And that's why, you know, be careful about false prophets, and be careful about, because what's a prophet? You know, that's somebody, was it the seven guy? You know, prophecies are people who just know what's going on, and they're able to kind of make, like we can tell people about gold. We can tell people, you better get some food together. We are prophets, right? and we can profit from knowing the truth, because here's me giving away all of my money, thinking I need to be like Jesus, and it's easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle. Look, I'm not even a super spiritual person, a super religious person. I'm not anything. I'm just looking for the truth, and I just want people to love each other. But yeah, we have to look after ourselves first, especially if we want to help other people. So I'm kind of like now making plans to do things. So, you know, I've asked for donations today for the homeless people because Connie has been coming back crying since the floods, you know, since they flooded the city. It's been difficult, and they are so grateful, and they are coming every day, and it's a lifeline for them. So I really want to grow that, and that's where my energy needs to go, not kind of sitting on a chat waiting to get my chance to speak before I have my day, because I've been trying to fit in with other people's timelines and stuff, right? Everything should just be in a flow. And so here I am in my flow, and I love doing this. You know, when I became a teacher, obviously because I wanted to teach, right? And I taught 11 to 18-year-olds, and it was cool. I mean, I remember the first time I did a lesson with a lesson plan, and the teachers and the examiner at the back of the room checking out, was I okay or not to be left alone with these children? And I was terrified. As I said before, I find it very difficult, but you know, I would get to know my students, and I was good in the classroom. I entertained them. My students loved me. My fellow colleagues did not, for various reasons. Anyway, so I love this. I love having a whiteboard, and I like drawing, and I like talking, and I like sharing, and it just so happens I feel like I have some really cool stuff to share, and I always have, and I've always wanted to somehow either write a book or, you know, like I say, teach, or do workshops. I mean, I worked with Teresa, and Imogen has been a recipient of some of the work that I've done as I learned how to do quantum healing and, you know, stuff like that, alternative therapies to actually release people from their pain, because my mother was in a huge amount of pain when I grew up. Sorry, I just kicked the table. Emotional, psychological, physical, mental, spiritual pain, and she was often just wanting to be gone, which is very painful as a child, to see your mother in so much misery, and to also recognize the moments where she does have a splurge of energy and motivation, where she can actually muster up the, you know, energy to kind of interact with you as kids, you know. And then I kind of carried that on to a lesser extent, but still, it doesn't matter if it happens once or a million times, it's still damaging when you have that negative energy towards people that you really love, and dealing with that energy. And so I realize also, coming with what's coming, when people become angry as the truth comes out, and they'll direct it at us because they are looking for the light, not because they want to attack it, but because they are seeking refuge. But they don't fully recognize the light as in their 3D persona. They only know their soul is directing them there, if they have a soul. And so, you know, it's easy to think that people are attacking us. It might be them fighting within themselves to actually go to the light, you know, the real light. So we don't know. We just know that our heart energy radiates out. You know, it's a never-ending. You know, if your heartbeat is perpetual, on a perpetual motion, it's like the best watch. I guess that's what they were trying to do with watches, get it to never, you know, the never-ending Swiss watch that would perpetually beat. Well, guess what? That's your heart. I remember somebody that I used to live with, I was very close to, once told me, you shouldn't exercise so much because you only have a certain number of heartbeats. And as much as it's tempting to kind of laugh and think, who on earth would actually even believe that, it's sad that somebody has been brainwashed into thinking that. So yeah, do we even have physical things inside us? Who knows? Or is it all just food? We could be all gut. Anyway, maybe it's only when we're cut open and that's when it comes into physical form. However, I think it comes into physical form actually when what happens is we're receiving these energies coming in, and then what they do is that they take the wave, they compress the wave contracts. So the energy wave, obviously your heart energy is always out there feeling things out, right? And your heart will always be true. So if you get a bad feeling, it's not something to be afraid of. It's an alert. It's an EBS. It's an early warning system of your own in here, in your physical vessel, in your spaceship. And it's saying, beep, 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 beep. You know, there's something on the horizon that's either to be avoided or helped. You know, go and check it out. What is it? Be aware. And so often, because of the situations we're in, e.g. school, the teacher that you really don't like, the lesson that you really don't like, the classroom that you really don't like, the group of kids you really don't like, the shopping mall you really don't like. You know, there's so many things that affect us, and they cause us to, and we can't escape them. We're forced into, I mean, a natural state. When this happens, you just pay your attention, take the relevant action, and you're done. And also, you've expanded your heart even more, because you've connected to infinite source energy, which has obliterated anything. If you're connected to source and you're fully aware, if you can get yourself into what I'm going to keep referring to as the singularity, or the 0 point space. The singularity is what I've been talking about. Like I said, when I'm drunk at parties, talking about quantum physics, trying to explain the atom, it's the singularity. You know, the macro and the micro is infinite, so it's therefore the same thing. It's just your perception. Alice in Wonderland. Drink me potion. Eat me cake. These are our tools, right? And the down the rabbit hole is down into, you know, it's the journey back to our imagination, to our right brain. It's probably actually the corpus callosum, which is connecting the two hemispheres of the brain. I mean, obviously it doesn't look like that because it's very small. And if the brain is, there's two halves, right? The corpus callosum is like that, and it's between the two halves. And I think before there was no gap at all. It was another heart shape in the brain with your pineal in the center. You know, and then the sacral chakra is another center. So then you have almost the Holy Trinity. You've got the three hearts, right? You've got your brain, heart, and all the gut and everything. I think actually it's not well, we do have a gut feeling, and it is a whole system in itself. When we are being created in the womb, and the egg is, in fact, I want to come back to this again, you know, like we have nothing inside. Do we even get pregnant? Do we even, is it actually the sperm that goes in the egg, or is the sperm already like the Q? And so the physical act of sex itself isn't what fertilizes the egg. It's actually the energy. And I wonder how many women, young women, have been artificially inseminated with no actual physical sex, and have then been ostracized and judged and called crazy. And can you imagine if that happened? And it's completely possible. That's the thing, especially if you ever exist at any point in, you know, higher dimensions. That's how it happens. So I don't know, interesting. We're all learning, right? We're all, hopefully, the reason I'm doing this is I'm hoping that people are going to listen. I'm at 38 minutes. I am going to draw to a close soon, and it's getting a bit hot, and I've got to go and sort stuff out. So yeah, I wonder, it's about bringing the energy. I mean, we're talking about the Kundalini, right? It's about getting this energy here, and instead of it exploding out in finite organisms, organism, I mean, it's telling you it's real. That energy is real energy. Who's looshing that? It seems like this energy is supposed to go this way. Surely your most amazing experience in the 3D realm here would be for this energy to be honored and given up to the whole energetic pool, because it's energy. It doesn't matter where it comes from. It doesn't matter how you get there. It's energy. And then it would be about then having heart organisms, right? So your heart takes on like a manifestation as well. And then this gets pushed up through the voice as well. Sorry, he's gone. And the expression of the voice in song. And I remember, and the thing is, it doesn't matter which way, where you start. I mean, you know, it can also be going down and then it's a loop, you know, everything's a battery, but there has to be the release to the external, etheric, eternal energy. That's this experience that we have, this organismic experience, which is what it's all about. You know, that's what keeps an organism going, is this desire to feel bliss. And what they did was, this is supposed to be an ongoing, right, okay, so we're here very quickly. They focused us here, you see, remember how the lower vibrations, and what they've done is they've completely trapped the energy here, and then they've rebranded it and they've repackaged it and they've put it into a black box, right? And they have total control within the space of that black box, and they're just programming it non-stop. It's you know, it's not good. And it's this is the deep web stuff, you know, which I believe is gone, and now people are healing. But a lot of people are stuck here and they're not connected to here and here. And I feel like if you're connected, you know, it doesn't matter where the energy is originating from, you know, when they're connected, it's a waveform, it's all one, and it's one process, and it's supposed to be this energy always. And when this one is balanced, it's no more about the romantic dinners and Valentine's days and trying to impress someone and trying to meet a guy and trying to settle down and, oh, I want to get married. Like, whoever would want to get married, really? I never really wanted to. Never had a wedding, because I just didn't buy the bullshit. I just looked at, you know, everyone would go, oh, I'm getting my dress, and I kind of half would be a bit envious and think, but in my heart I knew I would never be able to walk down an aisle. Now, I don't know why I had this strong resistance. I now realize that in that moment of what should be a holy union, I would be walking towards some black goo in the altar, which would be kind of completely, in fact, thinking about it, imagine that's what happens when people walk down the aisle. How are you gonna ever have a happy marriage if you're blessed by a priest with that black goo shit in the altar? You're being cursed. If you join your union in a church, you're guaranteed to be cursed. And guess what? The very same religion that they usurped, remember that Catholicism was good. It's probably maybe one of the best ones. I saw something about how Catholicism, paganism, you know, the incense was to get rid of the evil, but they've taken everything over. But if you think about, if they're doing their mind control in the church, then the whole concept of the wedding, and it's a piss take on the true wedding, the real union of the divine masculine and the divine feminine in whatever form it takes, whenever it takes, and however it takes. There's no time or space or matrices. It's energy, and this energy is interchangeable between, you know, it can be between a man and a woman, as a father and a daughter, or a husband and a wife, or a child, and you know, there's all these different, but the different relationships that we can go through, people that we meet. But remember, these are also all labels. I think I was trying to say this yesterday, you know, labeled as a mother, friend. I'm me. I am this energy, and have been desperate to connect and vibe all my life. And it just never happened because I couldn't really get excited about things other people got excited about, because just wasn't going to be happening for me. It just felt weird. It just felt wrong. And, you know, many of us from very early on were thrown into depression. And I'm talking in, you know, single digit age. Imagine being 7 and not wanting to be alive. And it's everywhere. It's everywhere. They practiced on us, the original ones, I don't know, at the beginning of this latest phase of their invasion. Anyway, we've already asserted that this is gone, so we don't need to go back there. But we do need to start learning balance. I'm certainly doing this now. I've just got rid of his whole body, but I am gonna In fact, I'm going to remove the physical representation of the being, because guess what? I am a jellyfish. All right, and then how many can I do going in, and how far can I go out? All right, and there you have it, that the heart is on a perpetual beat. It's never going to stop, but we do have to feed it love. And because right now we are not in a position, and have not been in a position for a very long time, to receive much unconditional love from anyone, then we don't know how to give it to ourselves. Because at the very basis and foundation of everything, we are naturally in our state of balance, just in love with love. Everything is love, and there is nothing else, and everything vibrates with love. And in that we create. It's an energy that cares. It's an energy that connects. It's an energy where if your child runs up to you babbling words and says, I keep saying that. I'm going to reclaim the word babbling for a second, like a babbling brook. See, there you go. See, a brook, the sound of a stream, that's the language of the universe. The birds, the stream, and then the silence in between is where you feel the energy, and it can osmosisize its way into your heart and into you. But we are that. We are everything around us is waiting for our hearts to affect it. Our reality, our holographic world around us is waiting for us to, okay, right, you know what? I'm going to take charge of my vessel that I was given charge of. Kind of like it for the first time in my life. I'm like, ooh, I need to maybe get a bit more rest, but it's all good. Maybe I need to do more stuff. Maybe I should start bodybuilding, and that will kind of fire me up. Who cares? I don't care. So I'm going to start taking charge of my vibration, because my vibration is going to affect my reality. Has to. We all know that you can be in a really terrible mood and somebody comes along and they make you laugh and you change your mood, right? Or you're in a really bad mood and you're kind of going crazy because something, went wrong, when in fact you find out a bit later on it's a good thing that thing went wrong, because if it had gone the way you wanted, you were going to be in the shit. And you kind of feel a bit silly because you're like, oh God. And it kind of, in those moments, it really makes you realize that it's all about perception. And so how am I going to choose to see everything? And I guess that's where the Christ consciousness comes in, is always be the bigger person. Now, it doesn't mean take shit. It doesn't mean let people walk over you. It doesn't mean don't speak your truth. It just means if you are kind of, shut down or misunderstood, or things happen, take the bigger, kind of take the higher road type thing, take that bigger view, the 40,000 feet view, but don't detach completely in a way of like just blocking, or you've got to still also go in and revisit those triggers and work out, is it something you need to heal, or is it something that you can let go of? Everything is things that we have to heal. I need to open this, it's getting hot. Okay, so it's about us going within, and going within is the same as going without. Everybody's always thinking that, and remember, see, our 2 eyes and our ears and our 5 senses, they really distract us. They're so distracting. This is what the media is working with, is your 5 senses. It's going to your fear center of this body. We're not this body. This body with one eye. This body doesn't look happy. This body is a vessel that we come in and out of at will, and we're supposed to, change up our frequency, get in alignment with stargates, and then become a different type of a manifesting existence or being in other places. Our brains already have the holographic blueprints for the other dimensions and densities. It's just that we haven't been told about them, You know, everybody talks about how you've got to link the neural pathways in the brain, right? It's like the earth. It's like the linking of consciousness. It's the and the more we keep listening about Trump, the more we listen about JFK Jr., who I believe all of this in Q is great, that's fine, but the more we listen about Ukraine and Russia and COVID and that, the story, this is all still the stories. They know we're awakening, and so they're going to give us tailored stories to keep us in the fear. And we think we're rising above it, but you only truly rise above it when you destroy. And I kind of feel like I'm there. I'm not interested in Ukraine. I mean, I'm kind of interested in Ukraine because I know it's connected to here and that part of the story. We can pick parts of stories that we can affect by our awareness. So I fully believe that if there is an operation to take out certain people who are involved in nefarious acts here at this time, I don't myself necessarily go and name names or do it. I just have to be here, and we're all connected, and every day more people are connected, and that's why we cannot be stopped. And that's why they can't touch us, because the more people awake and we get connected, the more protection we have. You know, this protection isn't all external. This protection isn't all the galactics. Oh, you have so much. No, it's us. We are connecting. It's all us. It's us. We are doing this. We are the ones who are holding this space, going through this process and being cheered on, right? All of us who are facing our fears and facing the truth, and then getting excited about the possibilities of everything that's coming as soon as we get to the kind of the right point, the tipping point of the enough consciousness downloaded into enough people, or opened up rather, enough people connected to their heart and here and whatever else, and basically enough people with the intention to want to make great changes and to be part of groups of people who also want to make change. Okay, so holographic reality, there was something that I wanted to link this to. I was just saying something and I thought that makes a really good, oh yeah, the 5 senses. Well, the curtain was blowing nicely. Feels like it's, now it's blowing. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna stop there. There was something else I wanted to say. I know that I'm not done on this bit. And then I want to talk about healing, self-healing, and the brain. How we can balance ourselves in moments, you know, do the tapping techniques on the brain. And I think that's about it really for today. Thank you for being with me and listening, and namaste and all that. I'm going to put my earrings in that I took out yesterday because I felt like they were distracting people. When I watched the video, I was like, wow, those earrings are really distracting, because they kind of like move around. They're cool earrings though for the ladies watching. You pull them through your ear and they're cool. All right, so we're going to be soon back to our original amazing, creative, free, loving, amazing, you know, we'll be able to just do all the things that we wanted to do when we were kids, which is why it's really important right now to go back to your childhood in your mind. Look at the things you used to do, go back in your life. Like I realized recently, I've gone back to painting and watercolor, and it brings me so much joy. There's nothing better than when you actually paint something that you like. And go back and revisit and start taking up these hobbies and getting your mindset there, you know. And hold the line and all that. It's gonna be good. Anyway, I hope this helps, and I will speak to you soon.